Oops. Hello. I thought we had to do the din, 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 the
Oh,
music.
I forgot about that. Oh
Yeah.
shoot. Should
I
I
was
do
waiting
it?
for the countdown music so I could boogie with it and then come in. But hey, everybody.
We're
Um,
just going right into it today.
yes, I hope you guys are having a beautiful Sunday. Today is a catch-up day for us. We're going to kind of be catching up with each other, talking a little bit about what's going on in the community. Some of it may even morph into whatever's going on in the world because we got a lot of stuff that's going on around us. Of course, we always welcome your comments. So, this is really interactive where it's like, let's talk, let's chat. Some of us definitely may need some things that we need to unwind with. There's a lot of mental energy shifts that have been going on. A lot of people have been really wilding out lately.
Yeah.
Because of the planets. We just came out of Mercury retrograde.
Are
And
we still in the shadow period?
we should be out of it, but I know we're doing Saturn. Is it Saturn retrograde?
I don't know for sure, to be honest.
I know there's a lot of clarity that's coming out, and I would imagine that there are a lot of planets that are really kind of messing with people because I'm looking at people's Facebooks and Instagram, their social media platforms, and you have a lot of people that are really struggling and wilding out. Miss Laverne said, "I'm calm during the storm." I think
Good.
honestly, you need to be.
Yeah.
I think we all at some point are just trying to find our happy place and stay there, until, the storm is over or you feel like you can talk. I know Mercury, oh my God, communication for me was all over the place. Like, it was like I was sending messages to the wrong people. I had to eat crow a couple of times because I sent messages to the wrong people. So Mercury really, typically, it messes with my electronics most of the time.
Yeah. It got my vehicles.
Yeah, that's true. Normally it's my car or my laptop, and you're right, this time it got your vehicle. But I know this past time, it literally was communication for me. It was the first time that I think I've ever had that many problems with communication.
Yeah. Just people. Well, sometimes people, when you say things, I don't know how to explain it because it's kind of like texting. People can write something, but they don't hear the tone behind it. But even if they hear the tone, sometimes it's still miscommunicated. It depends on what mood the person's in too, because sometimes you can just trigger somebody for and it not even be anything. It's just the mood and it just triggers them.
Well, it's so true because I've been on both ends of that where I have said something and the person took it the wrong way. And I was like, whoa, that was not what I was trying to say. I apologize. Let me call you. Like you say, a lot of things can get, mistranslated in text messages. And then I've had people where they've sent something to me and I was like, what the fuck? And it wasn't what they were trying to, what they weren't what they were trying to say. So,
right.
I think when it comes to stuff like that, accountability is your best friend. You have to just be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Can we move forward? Because communication can be fixed. Miscommunication can be fixed. It depends on how bad you miscommunicate, though.
Right. Right.
Well, oh, hey, baby bear. I limited communication because I was feeling bitchy. Yeah, and I think too that's the smart thing. If you know already that you're irritated, like I don't even get on Facebook when I'm irritated.
Yeah.
I
used to do that when I was doing readings and stuff all the time. If I wasn't feeling it, I didn't do it because I knew it would come out in my readings too.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't, if I don't feel right, I don't read. If I know that I'm irritated or frustrated, I try to limit communication. I particularly like to be by myself because no matter what you say, it's going to come out with that, yeah. And we see a lot of that. Hey, Lala, we see a lot of that on social media. You read somebody's post, you're already irritated, and that post just triggers you.
I've had that happen.
Yes, takes you to the next level. So sometimes when I see it, I'm just like, click off. click off. Go look at Netflix, go eat you some ice cream, go do something else, because it happens. You know, it kind of, even going back, I think the thing that even opened this up was the ramblings of a Mambo that I did, and Shishi kind of wanted to talk about it. You know, there were people that were saying we participated in gossip, we're seeing things a little bit differently, and that goes back to communication. Somebody communicated something that was derogatory, and the people didn't research it, and they decided that they were just going to sign on to that or co-sign on to it. And then later, when things cleared up, they saw something, you know, a little bit differently, and it's like, well, let me give you this apology. Shit, we've all been there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, and you and I kind of talked about the word community, and I'll go over that in just a minute. But there's a lot of people online, I'll just say online, that tend to jump on a bandwagon. Whether it's a video going viral about cats or whatever, or malicious gossip, it's jumping on the bandwagon, trying to be like everybody else. My advice is, don't be like everybody else. Be yourself. Do your own investigation. If somebody says something about somebody that they don't like, that doesn't mean that I have to not like them. I mean, Tonya, me and you both, we're real close, but we also have another friend that's pretty close. Mm-hmm. And I got into a disagreement with that friend. I never told you not to be friends with that person.
Right.
And then later on we made up, we moved on past it, you know, whatever the case may be. And so we're all cool now. But not once. I had a boyfriend in the 9th grade named Charles Sugar. And I really liked Charles. But he told me I had to choose between him and my friends. And I was like, there's only one of you. So I feel like when someone's spreading gossip about another person that's maybe your friend or an associate, you got to look at the source where it's coming from. And if they're trying to tell you who to be friends with, no one should pick your friends. Well, I think unless you're underage or you live at your mama's house.
Like you said, that it goes back to, of course, when you have children and you're trying to keep your children away from the wrong crowds and things like that. But as an adult, you definitely should pick and choose who you want to share your energy with. Like you said, we have a mutual friend, and this has happened more than once, I think, with us, where I may fall out with people, and you may actually have the conversation with me. I may vent to you and talk to you about it, but never once have I said, don't support that person or unfriend that person, because I never would. You don't have a problem with them. I do. No. Why would I want you know, to create an issue when you didn't already have an issue? But I think that's the adult thing. Hey, babe. Hi. Ooh, you look like a lioness. I love it.
Thank you.
She's got her aura halo.
Yeah, I love it. So catching you up, babe, we were just talking about you know, accountability and picking friends and loyalty and everything like that. I have both of you are friends. Both of you I consider are very close friends of mine. I have loyalty to you through our friendship, but I also love you enough and value you enough that if you're wrong in a situation, I will be the first one to say, no, we shouldn't be moving this direction, or no, I'm not going to support you in this. I'm going to let you do you, but I'm not going to support you in this, because I think as a friend, I can say I have your back, but there's certain things that if they go against my morals or my character, I wouldn't think that my friend would want me to go against what I want to do or what's right for me. I wouldn't expect either one of you to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you've told me, what was it, like 4.5 years ago, that something was going to happen if I did something. And I didn't want to hear it, and I did it anyway. And you were right. I never told you until now, but you were right, you know.
Well, I think, you know, the other part is, you know, Tonya and I, we had this conversation. We were talking about loyalty, and we're talking about blind loyalty at that. How some people just have blind loyalty to people. just because of a name or just because of, you know, their following. I have blind loyalty to 4 people, but that blind loyalty has been earned. It's been earned a million times over.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. They feel like, oh, you have to be loyal to that person, but loyalty of that nature is definitely an earned thing. And
Yeah.
I think so many people, they get caught up in the trend, in the if I'm good to this person, then they're definitely going to be good to me, just because I have blind loyalty to them, and that can get you really messed up.
Well, you hit
So,
that. I think you hit a very valid point. When there's blind loyalty to somebody that you feel like has status, or you have put that person on a pedestal, you don't know that person. I don't expect my followers to take up a fight for me. They don't know me. That should be
yeah.
something that you really think about, is that, okay, am I supporting this person? Yes. Do I need to get involved in this drama of this person? Absolutely not. No, you don't know me like that. There are people that I would kill for, but I have broken bread with these people. I have cried with these people. I have gone through some experiences with these people. I'm not going to sit up here and fucking mess my life off over somebody that I'm following, that I put on a pedestal. No, I can, admire someone, but yeah, blind loyalty to that. Oh no, 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 no.
And I mean, you know, kind of following up with that, you know, when I stepped onto the live, I know you're talking about accountability, which is, we've spoken of that so many times. And I know we're doing this live today to catch everybody up, say, hey, how you doing? We missed you. But we want to talk about as well, you know, the real shit as to the community, what's really happening,
Yeah.
and the accountability that a lot of people do not take. And I know many of you have probably watched Tanya's video, Ramblings of a Mambo.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the reasons I said, Tanya, we have to really go further into that video, with what you were saying about accountability, with what you were saying about, you know, people, well, basically what I summed up is people playing victim after they've done something wrong, and going to the point of being loyal to that person just because the person's playing victim. So, I mean, I can dive into it, or you guys can dive into it, whichever.
No,
I know, Lynna, you wanna...
I think what it is that, and we see it across the board. We have a lot of people who are coming in the community that are not healed, and me included. When I first walked on this journey, I was trying to find myself, and I'm not even saying by any means that I am completely healed. I'm a work in progress. But the thing about it is that sometimes you get people that are not healed. They have no intention to heal. They're vampiric energy. And what they do is they come in and they throw that stone, and then they hide their hands. And then it's like, woe is me. They're attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming after me. But you don't see the other side of it, where these people are actually the instigators of the issue. I've seen this with a handful of people. And I see them go online, and it's like, feel sorry for me because I'm this is that. And it's like, come on, be authentic. Be authentic. Tell both sides of the story. I can't stand that. You're never gonna see me sit up there and say I had a fuck somebody, the issue or whatever they did, this and that, without me saying what my part of that energy is. I think that's a hypocrite.
You said earlier about how there are people that we, have blind loyalty to as well. And I can think of 2 people, Candelo and Campu, and I'm not scared to say no names, that we followed, and we really put up on a pedestal. We went to their classes, we did all this stuff. Okay, but when people follow with blind loyalty, look at the shit that happens. No, that's why look, the whole breaking the bread thing, meeting people, knowing people, really, really knowing people outside of what they post is where the blind loyalty should be, not somebody on the internet. Even though we met those people, they still turned out not to even be
Well,
legit.
you dropping two names. Let's be honest. You know, we say a
But
community.
there's a lot more than
Like
just
Shishi
that.
said, there's a community. And y'all, I'm not saying nobody on this panel is perfect. None of us are perfect. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't want y'all to think that we're throwing stones and
No, I'm just using it as an example because
naming
everybody knows what happened with those two particular people. And had it been blind loyalty and you go out and you hurt somebody or do something because they don't like somebody, then you turn around and all of a sudden you find out they're not legit anyway. That's what I mean. But I did want to say about, I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna say real quick with that because I don't think it's blind loyalty to these men or some of these people in the community. We have to be honest and say that they're spiritual groupies that connect, and they connect with men and women. It has nothing to do sometimes with, I love you so much. It's that I want to be seen with you. I want to develop a relationship with you because I want to be mentioned because you have some type of status that you see across the board a lot of times. People throwing out people's names. Oh, so-and-so had me on their live, or I connected with that person. I don't think it's blind loyalty. I think some people are manipulators.
Yeah, that's very true. And we've all three used that word community. So I'm going to tell what we talked about the other day, Tonya. We have a huge spiritual community. But what is the definition of community? It's like-minded people who congregate and work together. This is not a community because the spiritual community is a lot of backbiting and stuff. And we should maybe work to try to make it a real community and stop all of that shit.
So I'm gonna piggyback off that. And I will definitely say that is definitely the definition of community. When you have like-minded individuals working towards something. But because we are in the spiritual world, right? And it'd be the same as if we went to Abrahamic religions such as like Protestant, Catholicism, all of that. We think we have like-minded people. But a lot of the times they're not like-minded people. A lot of people step into the spiritual world for what they can get out of it. And we have numerous times seen people pop in, make their money, and be like, "Oh, we had to go back to church because we didn't want to go to hell." What are you talking about? You have made how many thousands or millions of dollars, and now you're scared to go to hell, but you weren't scared to go to hell 3 years ago. So, like-minded individuals working together, that once again comes to that whole blind loyalty and actually digging into the person and seeing what they're about. I know what you were about, Lynna. I know what Tanya's about. I know the people that I call, my tribe. I know what they're about. And I think sometimes people get caught up in, once again, the title, the name, the glitz, the glam, and you find yourself in a situation like a witch war that you really didn't need to be in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is we should, as spiritual people, we should be working together, not against each other, not cutting each other down.
Well, here's the problem with that. Not everybody in the spiritual community is spiritual.
But that's true.
Spiritual community is $1 billion business right now. Everybody is a reader. Everybody is selling products. Everybody is building a brand. It's a business. I think when you talk about community, people have a different perception of what that community means to them, what it is to them. I think, to be honest, people need to start looking for their soul tribes and building within those tribes, not as a community as a whole, because there's going to be people, when we talk about spiritual community, there are people that will not like you. There are people who will not like me. There are people who will not like Shishi. They don't want to build with us. There's people
and
I
they don't have
deal
to,
with.
but they don't have to throw or do something malicious either. If you don't agree with what somebody is saying, move on.
But that would be just straight wisdom, whether it be the spiritual community or not. It's like those people who don't want to go to events or who are mad that you're having drag shows or something like that and they want to ruin it for everybody else. They could just move on. So this is just a people thing. Like people are
messy.
People are messy. People are complicated,
we're human.
Unfortunately. And we're human. Once again, I'm gonna say no one on this panel, like Tanya said, is perfect. We are not throwing stones. The reason this came up is because we have a problem as a whole, and I will say the spiritual community, I was gonna say that, with people who cause problems
and no accountability.
Don't take accountability for it and then run behind everybody's back saying, woe is me, or, oh, look at, what happened here, or I'm constantly the person that's being, beat up or attacked upon and looked upon negatively.
It's true. I mean, I have gotten screenshots of people talking about me like shit, dirty shit. And they have supported my page, been on my page. I've gone to their events and they talk about me like dirty shit. And I tell you what, to this day, they don't know I know. And when I still go to the events, they smile in my face, they hug me, and they say, I love me. They love me. There is definitely an issue of not being authentic. And sometimes you have to grow into that. We have to be real about it. I'm not going to show up at your event if I don't care for you. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're never going to see me somewhere where if I don't really cut for you, there's no reason for me to be there in your energy. It's a waste of my energy. It's a waste of your energy. But we have people who definitely will do that. And they do that to multiple people. They're not looking for any type of spiritual connection or spiritual growth. They're looking for opportunity. There's an agenda. Anytime we go into victim mentality, we're doing it because we want something out of it. We're feeding it.
Girl,
I need you to feel sorry for me. I need you to send me money. I need you to support my business because the big bad people are beating up on me. Can you please come help me?
I'm having it.
Oh, wait. What did we break, Lynna? Did we break her?
What happened to Lynna?
I've been to an event and you've been to an event at the same shop at different times, and both of us walked away being liars and thieves accused by this person, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's why I was like, oh my God.
But you know, the crazy thing is, though, I didn't know that the person did not like me. But they invited me to come.
I didn't either until the last day. And then it's like, bitch, you got me fucked up. I ain't never coming back here.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I would never do that again. But to be honest, I didn't know. I never knew that there was an issue. But that goes back to...
I tried to tell you.
You did. And I didn't have a problem with the woman. But I think when that came out to be a victim mentality too. Because afterwards, it was like, you did this to me. You put me in this position. You caused this problem. And I'm sitting up thinking, you invited me here. I didn't do shit.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I didn't do anything. So I was completely perplexed.
And the whole thieving thing, it's like, if I don't have money, I don't shop. Period. When I have money, I'll be blowing that shit like crazy. I will never steal from someone. I will never steal from someone. I know you wouldn't steal. And we both got accused of stealing.
We both did.
Look, accuse me of stealing a witchcraft book. I'm not a witch.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I want a witchcraft book?
Yeah.
And not to mention, I did buy that book back in 2008, and it's on my Kindle. Why would I need to steal it from a store?
I don't know. I think that there was definitely, we got to look at mental issues too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. And
we have to
we have to address that.
We have to address people in the community that are struggling with mental health issues. And I mean, I don't want to make excuses for people, but could it be that maybe some of this victim mentality is some type of byproduct of their struggles or some trauma or something that they're going through and they have not healed? Not everybody in this so-called spiritual community is healing, has healed, or is even trying to heal.
Right.
I mean, I agree with you there. I think as far as mental issues are concerned, you know, I agree. That's not an excuse. I think per the conversation that we've had many times, a lot of people who play victim do not realize that they are playing victim. They literally feel like they were done dirty. They could sit there and say, "You dusty ass bag, hag, whatever," on a live, and then be like, "Look at what they did to me." Even the person sitting here like, "Wait, what just happened?" So going to that, it still comes back to we as people, and especially as spiritual beings, need to be able to check ourselves. We as people, once again, especially as spiritual beings and spiritual healers, and we need to be able to sometimes accept the fact that people are going to tell us about ourselves because we refuse to check ourselves. And I know I've been fortunate. You guys have definitely checked me. I can't even tell you guys the times that Tonya has been like, Shishi, but for real. And I'm like, I'm going to go get this wine and think about what you just said. But I feel like, you know.
That's what I was saying before you came on. If she told me a few years ago, this is going to happen if you do this, and I wasn't even wanting to hear it, I just went ahead and did it. And she was right.
But you know what? I think we all need that person, because we've all been that person to each other. We all need that person that's going to be straightforward and be like, okay, look, you're going a little bit too far or too left. And some people don't have it. A lot of people with status don't have it. They have a lot of yes people around them. Yes, you're doing right. Yes, you know, curse this person. Yes, do this with the money. There's a lot of people that co-sign on things. Because when you get people that are especially new on the spiritual path, a lot of people want to be accepted. So it's easy for them to follow somebody because you're admiring you. That's your goal. A lot of us have people that we have, watched, and it's like, I really want to be on that level one day. But I think we have to be really cautious of how we attain our goals. And then of course the connections with people, let me see. Baby Bear was talking about, that backstabbing and stuff. That's a part of life. That's always going to be there. How we deal with it is what's going to separate us with the people. And then we have somebody that was talking about, I think Nika was like, we're letting these people run amok, like we have these people that have problems. When you try to talk to someone, and anybody who has ever dealt with somebody that is in mental crisis, and they want to be a victim, or they want to be depressed, or they want to be in whatever that energy is, when you try to talk to them, they do not want to hear it. They don't.
That's when it comes back to, just like I'm not going back to that event and you're never going back to that event, you have to choose your own friends. If it doesn't work for you, move on. Don't be around that person.
I think you definitely.
So going back to what with the ramblings of the Mambo, if somebody says something about somebody that's your friend or your associate, and this person saying it is your friend or associate, don't let anybody else tell you who you should and should not hang out with. You should make your own decision, and you should also be strong enough that if it's not a good fit for you, you need to walk away.
And I think that's the thing, is like a lot of people, and I can say that from, personal experience. A lot of people, when they first meet me, they're like, oh, you must be a snob. You must be this, you must be that. And then as time goes on, because of what everybody says about me, or like the first impression, then when they get to know me, they're like, oh, well, what that person said about you is completely different than what what we're experiencing. You as a person have to decide who needs to be in your life.
Right.
If you're consistently, like you said, going by what someone else said, you will be alone and with people who are not genuine your whole life, because you're always going by someone else's experience of that person. The experience that someone else may have with Lynna is completely different than the experience that I may have with Lynna. And the same as Tanya or them with me. And so you have to understand, some people, their experience with people is based off of things that you have no idea about.
Right. And another thing I want to say is if the community is like a big circle, you got to think too that there's many smaller circles inside that big circle. So if the circle that you're in doesn't fit, find another one. You don't need to have just that one circle. There was a post made the other day about recommending people to get readings and stuff. And at first it was kind of like, nobody mentioned my name. But you know what? Nobody mentioned Donna Lee Della Rose. Nobody mentioned Rana George. And those are some big names in the readers community.
Yeah, and you said that. And the first thing she said was Rana George's name up there. And I was like, I don't think so. And then she was like, Rana George is a good reader.
And Allison Dubois, none of those people were listed. And there's some big people, but it's because they're in a different circle. That circle maybe I'm not really well connected in that little bitty circle there, but I can be connected in this circle and another circle too. You don't have to be in just one, but you're not going to fit in every one, if that makes sense.
I don't know. That post made me realize a lot of stuff. I was like, I wrote Tanya about that post. I was like, that post made me realize some stuff.
Yeah, I was a little bit. But you know what? I got to thinking, like, you know what? I could put myself in the circle with Rana George. She wasn't mentioned either. And everybody knows who Allison Dubois is, and nobody mentioned her either.
But I think I get you on that, and I think the valid point is that we will not be acknowledged. We won't be acknowledged in circles that we're not included in, or like people don't know, because there's a lot of people that I follow that I don't, or I know of them, but I don't participate in any of their classes. I know some of the people that take classes with them, but this person wouldn't know me if she passed me on the street. She wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Madam Nadia nor Madam Pamita was mentioned either.
Yeah, but I get with, you do know people in that circle. Shishi knows people in that circle. So I think honestly, it's it could have been a sleight of hand. It could have been that maybe people didn't connect. I'm not sure. I can't really speak for people, but I think I get what you're saying. If you're not really connected to that particular soul tribe, you're not going to be acknowledged in that soul tribe. I get what you're saying with that.
But I'm not gonna let it bother me, because I can hang out with the biggest of the names. They weren't included either.
I don't know. And I talked to Shishi about this before, years ago. We both started in a group called Medium Psychic Sisters. And I used to do a lot of free readings in that group. And at the end of the week, they would say, shout out the reader, or, acknowledge the reader or whatever. And I would look at these people, the people that I gave readings for, and they would mention another reader. Like I didn't even give them a reading. And it made me feel some kind of way. And then I kind of had to pull away from that and be like, damn, do I need that validation from them? And it made me realize I just need to stop fucking with them. They kept coming in my inbox. So I was like, you know what? If you're not going to exchange energy with me, I'm not going to give you the reading. If you're not going to acknowledge what I do, then don't come in my inbox. And I think that it kind of goes back to what y'all were saying. If you are connecting with energy or people in the community that are not reciprocating the energy, are they really your friends? Should you really be supporting them? Should you really be, doing events with these people that are not reciprocating? There's a lot of people, I share their stuff. They don't share my stuff. So should I keep supporting them?
I've done events, and I'll do them again, where they don't necessarily share my stuff, but those events that I'm willing to do again, or with people who never backstab me, have never done me dirty.
Yeah.
Now, that one event that I was talking about that you and I did on separate occasions, never again. Because she tried to backstab me and give me a bad name. Fuck her.
No, she did. But I think she when Shishi was saying, let's talk about this, I think it is more about being accountable and not using victim mentality to manipulate people in the community. Be authentic, be genuine. Don't sit up there and smile in my face and tell me, oh, you love me, and then I get 15 screenshots where you talking about my eyebrows was crooked and my lipstick was all, I mean, stupid.
Look, if somebody talk about my eyebrow being crooked, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Tonya did them.
Look at she dirty. Is she dirty?
She's like, it was her fault. My eyebrows look a little funny.
But we can't.
Y'all keep talking. I gotta switch the charger thing.
Okay, but I think like she, and I'm not gonna put words in your mouth because I'm gonna let you talk for yourself. But when we had the conversation, we know mutual people that have played the victim in the community. We have been a part of even inadvertently being drugged into the drama of this situation and trying to make sense of it. And it's like, okay, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. You're not taking accountability. Why am I backing you up? Why am I still supporting you? Why am I still trying to be a friend when you're not getting it? You're not taking accountability. If I tell Shishi, you're saying things that are hurting people over and over again, and then she goes on Facebook, oh my God, everybody's attacking me or whatever. And I'm like, but you were the common denominator for the attacks. You were the one that started it. And that's what we see. You know, I think it gets so confusing with that nowadays with people. Go ahead, Shishi.
I think also the thing is, and I don't want to speak for everybody on this panel, but I can say from my experience, we have all supported multiple people throughout our time of, doing what we do. Yes, just so you know, I fell off the plan for a little bit. Sorry, but we've all supported multiple people. We discussed through this time of having supported multiple people who, by the way, have paid people to do witchcraft on us, who have talked about us like we were less than shit on somebody's shoe, who have basically drug our name through the dirt, only to come around the next day and say, we love you, you're so important, we're so glad we have a friendship. Oh, keep supporting us. We always support you. We got your back. There is nothing more annoying to me than that. And these people don't know that we're aware that they drug us through the dirt, and did all these crazy things. The point why we're doing this show is because as of late, it seems like the activity has increased. It has increased with people who have helped people, who have sent people things in the time of need, and one small thing sends these people off the rails, and the next thing you know, everybody's in people's inbox talking about so-and-so on happened here, so-and-so on happened there. And what they do, and what we're talking about, is what they do is they try to pit people against each other.
Yeah. For their own entertainment, mostly, I believe.
For their own, I think, I wouldn't even say entertainment. I feel like they want to see how far they can manipulate someone to see if you're talking to the other person. If you're on the same
but I think
page
they
as
get
them.
a kick out of it. I think they get a kick out of it.
It might be a kick out of it. Personally, that just sounds like a lot of work to me to be getting a kick out of. But what I will say is, what they are banking on is you following them blindly.
Yeah.
And then having an issue with someone who you really do not have an issue with.
Well, it's to cause division.
Yeah.
Because why else would anybody want to start mess? And I really love that a lot of people on here are like, they're so far removed from the gossip that they don't even hear any of this. You know, they stand in their own world. I think it's a good thing, to be honest, if you are removed from the gossip and everything that goes in. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't even know about. And then when I hear about it, I'm like, damn. But I'm starting to see, like Shishi, there are regular people on my timeline that it's the same. It's like a broken record. It's like, it's the same thing. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. And it's like, okay, why are you still dealing with the same people then? And then it's like, I think there's something that they get from it. And I've noticed after the pandemic, you see an uprising in this too, because I think a lot of people are struggling. I think they really are. And I think, they need validation from people, and people aren't giving it to them. So they have to create something that gives them some type of validation. Pay attention to me. This person hurt me. Pay attention to me. This person did me wrong. Pay attention to me. So there's something, I definitely feel like mental health is a part of, in this, but it could be somebody being messy. It really could. I'm not really sure at this point.
But I also feel like people many times will want someone else to be the villain. So then other people hate them. So then they come their way.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to the great state of Texas, sent me on vacation for a few years. And there were a lot of messy people there too. And a lot of times, and this just came to me too, because not only to create division, but to create a distraction. Because if you cause conflict between other people, people aren't looking at you and what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah. The only, I don't have the issue. Gossip to me is just a human experience. People are going to do it. There's always going to be something to talk about. I have been a part of gossip. I think that's just sometimes a human experience. But the problem that I have with practitioners is working against people that you have no issue with because of gossip or being put in a situation. If you told me, if either one of you told me that somebody was working against you, the first thing that I would do is I would definitely listen to what you were saying, but then I would divine on it. Because in my mind, if I'm going to pour my energy into this, I need to know if this is something that you are really going through, or if this is just an expression of your emotions and we just need to talk a little bit more. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of, let me curse this person. Well, with Shishi, I have done for certain situations, but
I was going to say, I've done that with you.
But it was because I was upset. It was because it had nothing at that point to do with her asking me to do something. It was because personally, I was invested in what I wanted to do. But she's never come to me in a situation against another practitioner that made me feel like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and just, you're having problems with them. Let me do that. I think that's what's hurting a lot of us in the community right now is there's a lot of, let's throw at this person. I had a disagreement with you. We're an adult. We have had conversations where we may not agree 100%. Even in this segment, there may be things we will not agree on, but I'm not going to go light a candle or go outside and, start doing some type of work because I disagree with you. There has to be something better with communication that comes in with friendships, with community.
Yeah. Now, I've done things with you that I didn't have any dealings with the other person. But you're my best friend, and I know you in real life. We've slept in the same bed together.
Right.
I was like, what you say? You slept with her. I was like, okay, well now that.
Yeah, we slept multiple
times. She don't outed us,
Look, multiple times. Last time we was in a bougie ass hotel, but
that's true.
But anyway, so when you said that you were going to do something, my response immediately was, let me find a place.
But once again, that comes down to knowing the person. I mean, like if Tanya was like, I'm mad, this is happening, I would step up very quickly. If you just said, I'd step up really quickly. Some of the people, I mean, now Tanya did mention, she's like, I would ask questions. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. But what are we doing it for? Like, what exactly?
But
It's true.
I guess I gotta eat a little bit of crow and be accountable, because even though I don't know that person that we did that to, I've seen the results of that person's actions. I've seen you cry. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a friend. But I never would put you or ask you to do something that I felt was going to be
Well,
detrimental.
but that's the thing. You didn't ask. You told me what's going
That's
on,
true.
and I'm like, let me help you find a place. Don't do it just yet. I'm gonna find us a good place.
It's true. It really is. And I mean, I think the beauty of you and Shishi is that the way that you both handle me is differently, but it comes from a place of love, because Shishi is right. She would be like, okay, let's do it. But she would, okay, so why exactly are we doing this, or what do we need to do? She always comes in with the questions, which makes you think a little bit more, either of how I'm doing this, or do I really need to do this? And we need checks and balances. I think a practitioner should have people around them that they honestly listen to, so that when you are on the wrong side of the fence, somebody can be like, you know what? You're wrong about participating in this gossip about this person. You're wrong about doing work against this person. You're wrong about putting yourself in this lane when you don't need to be in that lane. We have a lot of people that are in lanes that they don't need to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're being manipulated by a lot of people who have issues. I really do. I really do. We have to use discernment, and y'all know we preach that you have to use discernment with your friendships in this community. A friend today will be an enemy tomorrow. Mama Star taught me that.
Yep.
It's in this particular community, you could be breaking bread, you could be in a full-blown relationship with this person, and next week they will fuck over you and bury you in the graveyard.
And it'll be the person you least expect.
Most of the time, it's the person I do expect, though. I'll be like, oh, damn you.
Well, I mean, I've had something, somebody did something pretty nasty to me. Not work, but treated me pretty nasty. Somebody I knew for decades. That was my friend. You just never know.
Yeah.
I think my thing is, and this is what I talked to Tonya about. People, you need to also be careful who you trust, right? Because sometimes you just knowing people who are in the incorrect lane or who have done something dirty because they want to play victim will get you caught up in situations that you really don't need to be in. And sometimes it literally is just by proxy. It literally is just by proxy. So if you know someone who's like, oh, I just like to just be destroying people just because I want to destroy them, and they go after the wrong person, and that person knows that you guys are all in it together, for some reason there's always the assumption that you guys did it together. And you will end up in something that you didn't need to be up in. And that was something that almost happened to...
I noticed that a lot, that people are giving credit, a lot more credit than people deserve.
Yeah.
And that's what's so... I really have to think about how I'm going to word this.
Oh, Lord.
Well, when you think about how you're going to word that, what I'm going to give is an example. Some people in another circle of mine, when all the big practitioner names were being outed, somebody we knew wanted to out one of the larger names as well. This person did not warn us that that is what they wanted to do. They did not inform us that that is something they were even considering doing. We would have been caught up in a real serious war, in a real serious situation, just by proxy. Because, I mean, I give people credit where credit is due. The person is not a soft, fluffy bunny, Doreen Virtue practitioner. It would have been a full-fledged war. Now, this is why I say be careful with the people that you deal with. Whilst this person had been departed from our circle for a while, we hadn't seen this person, heard from this person, we would have still been caught up.
Because they would have came after everybody.
They would have come after everybody. The children, the spouses, everybody, the pets, everybody would have got. And we would have been highly unprepared. But what it comes to is people, once again, just, and I mean, I'm saying this because be very careful with who you place on a pedestal. Be very careful with who you just throw your lots in with, because you don't know who they're going to decide one day, you know, if they're really not level-headed, if they are not, I'm just saying, if they're not fucking sane.
They're not stable.
They're not stable. They're a little unstable. You're going to end up in something that you really didn't want to be in and that you were very unprepared for.
Yeah.
And, you know, like Tonya said, how we spoke of victimology, a lot of people who play victim, they do dirty things. Like, you have to really sit down and observe them. A lot of people who play victim repetitively and they're the common denominator, usually they are the person causing the issue.
The shit starter.
They're the shit starter. And they're real quick to decide, well, we're going to cause some issues. Now, when somebody is very quick to throw and very quick to want to cause divisiveness, if you think for a moment that they will not do the same thing to you, you are sorely mistaken. Yep. Because they're living for a shitstorm. That's what they do.
Well, when you see people constantly doing that, you already know that's their thing. When you see people constantly, they're all on Facebook, Instagram, constantly in a fight, constantly throwing at people, constantly in conflict, you already know that that's a regular thing. It is. It doesn't take a rocket science to look at some of the people in the community and be like, damn, I can't fuck with them because they always in trouble. They always in a fight. And I agree with Deep One.
I do too.
Put yourself on a pedestal. You know, this is your spiritual journey. You know, it's important that you are the focus of the direction you want to go. Even in my mentorship, you have every right to question my agenda and intentions with what I'm teaching you, the direction that I'm going. But you also need to look at my character and my morals. Do you see me on Facebook every day fighting with people? Do you see me on social media constantly throwing at people? There are some people that we shouldn't be spending our money with. We shouldn't really be fucking with because of the character that they are. If you see trouble in the red flags, it is what it is. It is what it is.
I was taught that in order to be successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people. If you want to marry a doctor, you need to hang out where the doctors hang out. If you want to marry a lawyer, hang out where the lawyers hang out. Do the things that they do. If you want to surround yourself with the type of people that you want to be. If you see somebody that's shady, if you're hanging out with them, are you telling others that you want to be shady too?
What is that?
But you should surround yourself with the type of people you want to be.
If you're trying to be wealthy, surround yourself with wealthy people.
It's not always easy, y'all. And we got to be honest. It's not always easy in the spiritual community because there's a lot of people that put on faces that aren't that way. You can't, you see a lot of things on social media. Like what Lala said, what is my agenda? Lala, my agenda is to empower magical women so we can take over the world. That's my agenda.
Yeah.
But and I'm telling people straight up that that's what I'm about. And people who have met me in person, people who have been around me, they know the direction that I'm going with my spirituality. But there definitely are people who we know they put one face on, they take it off, they put another face on. It's just sometimes, you know, you have to weed through the weeds. You have to, you know,
get through it. That's true too.
Nika said she's waiting for an African class, and the guy is 53 minutes late, a Nigerian probably. It's going to be 3 hours, Nika.
I would get with PayPal and get a refund. I'm just saying.
With Baby Bear said, most people in the spiritual community want popularity off spirit. I don't get that. I think. Go ahead, Shishi, because I feel like a lot of people in the community, real quick, are building a brand. And building a brand and connecting to spirit, to me, are two different things. To me, it's my connection, there's altars and things that I have where I connect with spirit that is nowhere on social media. It has nothing to do with my brand at all. Everything that has to do with Divinity Diva is behind me. My spiritual products, the things that I make to build my brand, for my brand, that have my label on it, that is my brand. It's a spiritual brand, but does it really encompass my whole spirituality? No, it doesn't. There's shit all the way on the other side of the house y'all will never see.
So, I was actually going to comment on Cousin's comment as well. We've often stated how lucrative the spiritual business is. It doesn't matter if you're doing the non-traditional spirituality or if you're doing the traditional spirituality, such as Christianity. It is a lucrative business. I mean, Joel Osteen bought a damn plane. I mean, think about it, guys. It's a very lucrative business. And Tonya has multiple times said it's right under makeup. Right under makeup. So that's what people see. They see, oh my God, well, I can connect to this. And so if I can connect to it, I can get other people to connect to it. And then I'm going to be making tons of money. That's what I mean. Everything is about money. You can, as you observe people, you can tell the difference between the people who really are about helping you connect to spirit, helping you connect to yourself, as opposed to just building a brand.
You can tell the difference between a Mambo Tonya and a Tammy Faye Baker.
Well, you can tell, I think, honestly, because I'm a very flawed Mambo. I'm a very flawed spiritual person because I'm still healing and I'm still learning and I'm still growing.
But you but just like that, you just stated that. You don't try to be perfect. You're real. You don't put gobs of makeup on and tell people to call 1-800 Billy Graham or what was his name? Jim Baker, and send me your money.
Can you, Cousin said that that's not what she meant, and she digresses, but if you can explain what you mean, then, because, I thought that's what you meant. I would love to know what it is that you meant.
Okay, let me go back in. In person.
I think that,
that one, right? Is that the one? That's the one we're discussing, right?
That's the one we're discussing, but she said that that's not what she meant.
Okay, so what did you mean? I thought that's what you meant too.
But I mean, if you have people calling themselves Oshun,
priestess something,
priestess master, you're using spirit, you're using your connection with that spirit definitely to it's an extension of you. It is. When you build a brand around that particular spirit, it could be definitely a spirit connection, but you are building a brand. But we have a lot of people in the community that are very successful. And one could be because of the spirits that they do work with. Mm-hmm. Another thing could be too, you could be very successful and not be connected to spirit at all in this community.
I was just thinking, is that what you mean, Lisa? Is that people only connect with spirit because they want to be popular and want to make money, but they really don't have any connection to spirit?
I'm curious.
It's like like they're using it. They come in, I'm Mambo Lynna, I've been to Haiti and got put in a hole or whatever. I mean, I got to sound more real than that if I was to do it. But, and knowing I ain't never been to Haiti, nothing like that, but yet I'm going to make money off of it. I did have an Obi reading. Can I be an Ifa?
Well, I think too, you have a lot of people that, whether you are in a closed tradition or not, I don't judge across the board. I think everybody's their spiritual journey is their journey. It's important. You don't need a title to connect with spirit. You don't. There are a lot of people that are born. This is bloodline lineage. They don't need anybody to acknowledge that they have any type of spiritual connection. There are people that are connected to spirit that you won't even see on social media. They have no business. But there are some, and we have to be honest about it. There's people that, there's a way to make money. Mm-hmm. This is a way to make money. Some people pay their bills and take care of their family through the community. But I think it's too much to type as to explain what I mean. Then come on, send Elisa the link. Send her the link. Come on and talk about it.
Hold on. All right.
I'll be right
Let
back.
me see if I can do it this way.
But I do feel like that you need to be just be authentic and genuine, and you need to be discerning. I don't think it's about any judgment with any people. I don't think we're saying judge people in a negative way, but just out of your own desire to be connected to real, so you're not wasting your time. I've wasted time. I don't think that's a big secret. I think a lot of people have wasted. Oh, she taking her braids out. Girl, throw a little head wrap on and come on. What she said? Oh no, my hair wild. I don't know. I think in the
I just sent it to your phone.
I have been blessed to be connected to people who have showed me things that I needed to see, good and bad. I have been blessed to connect with friends that are very honest with me, not just loyal, but actually honest with me. And like I said, I think we need the checks and balances to grow. You know, it kind of helps you, navigate your journey a little bit more smoothly. Because we see red flags a lot of time in this community, and some of us still support it. I've seen red flags and still been taking classes and doing things with these people. So I mean, I don't know. There's definitely discernment. And I really appreciate the people that came forward and told me that they didn't have a problem with me anymore, because I didn't even know there was a problem. I'm not going to play the victim and go, oh, woe is me. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. No, I was appreciative, and I am 100% accountable for who I am. That's
Hey.
Hey, baby bear. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, the demon eyes. What the hell we got going
That's
on?
what I'm
I got
saying.
the
All you can
lights
see is
off
eyes.
I was like,
and the
that's
TV on, so
Okay,
it's
so let's
reflecting.
let you go ahead and say what you was trying to say, babe.
Okay, so what I was talking about, it's not about the monetary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are looking for power, just to say that they have the power to do something, to spell cast, do rituals, ceremonies, and
Absolutely.
things like that, and they don't have that. But they make it seem as if they do, because they'll go live. They talk about all of these different things, about how to heal yourself, how to do all of these other things, but they're living a whole totally different life. And
Yeah.
if people really pay attention, you can actually see that they're not living the lifestyle that they're preaching or teaching about.
Ooh, baby bear came on and did a sermon. Woohoo!
So that's what I was talking about, as far as like, it wasn't about the money, because I mean, spirit always gonna tell us, saying you got a business, this is a business, build your business, because our spirits don't want us to be broke. They don't want us to be penniless. They don't want us to say, come on and use all our energy to go and help Peter, Paul, Sam, and Judy to do all of these different things, because we have the power to do so from the connections that we have with our spirits. But that's not the thing. The thing is that these people come out here and they actually wanting to, oh, I could do all of these other things. I could show you how to get your man. But they done went through 17 different men while you watching them during the whole time.
Ooh,
Right.
baby bear, we ain't ready for it, baby bear. No, she not.
I'm just saying, I mean, because that's what I was talking about. So it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't about the monetary stuff, because we're going to be blessed regardless. But it's the thing that these people come out here and there's other people get wrapped up in all of this stuff. And now it's just like, oh yeah, I did this TV segment too, and bop, 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 bop. Look what I can do. I could do more things too. And then people start following suit. And it's like, but they're not really gaining that off of there. Now they completely really have lost themselves, and now they lost you too. You in this warp where you can't even think for yourself no more. Now you just stuck on this person's, like whole trend or mindset that this is all that you can do, and you're missing the big point. You're missing the picture.
Absolutely.
The truest connection comes from our spirits.
Yes.
That's cultish.
Lynna, you
exactly. It's
Lynna,
becoming a
you
cult.
need to go ahead and send Munchy Cheese the link too. She said she got something that she needs to say too.
All right.
Deep One, I really appreciate your words, and I'm grateful and I'm humbled with your words. You know, I always tell my friends my biggest fear is to be ego driven or to come off ego driven. It's really a big fear of mine. I don't want to be perceived as that because I think that I just think that it would, if I do ever get like that, it's going to show that I lost myself. But I'm blessed with friends that I think are going to keep me grounded. And we all need that. And everything that Elisa said was 100% true. You know, you don't, this is not cults. You know, this is not drink my Kool-Aid and we all going to see the aliens and, you know, where people have followed people. This, you need to think for yourself in these communities. A lot of stuff is being done as fads, and once it's over with, these people drive away in their Mercedes, and there's people are lost.
Right. And I'm gonna say this one more thing too, because it was before social media even came along. Because I've been practicing for a long time too. I was a solitary witch, so you know, social media wasn't big back then, and I was a child / teenager. You know, when I was practicing, we didn't have all of these problems. We didn't have all these issues.
True.
Because sometimes you would have to drive to go and find somebody that you was actually looking for. Nobody knew. I would be out there hugging trees and stuff like that, and people be walking thinking I'm crazy. But I knew what I was doing because, you know, that's the way that I was brought up. But now things have changed because of social media. And now that it's out, you know, it's just like, oh, everybody's trying to latch on and grab on. But that's not how it was. I knew Mambos and root workers and stuff like that. I used to have to drive a distance to go and see them and sit down and talk to them and ask them questions about certain things. It's not like that anymore. Now we're a little bit more accessible, and I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that because I don't find that wrong at all. It's good that we are able to connect in a different way and that we are able to find our tribe. But now it's just a little bit more confusing because everybody has something to say about, you know, oh, this person does this and this person does that, and they're not really doing this, and that.
I think, and you hit on at the end of it, I think that a lot of us are under the microscope a little bit more because of social media. But I also, with the good, with the bad, I think for some people, it makes you recognize real.
Yeah.
If you're looking at people and paying attention and studying them, you see the red flags. You see the people who are struggling with their spirituality that is still healing, and you don't have to connect to that energy. So I agree. I'm like you. We grew up watching people do things. We didn't know that there was other Mambos or practitioners out in the world. So
Right.
social media has been a blessing and a curse, to be honest.
At the same time.
At the same time.
All right, I'm gonna go so Nika can get on.
No, well, Nika says she don't even have a shirt or a bra on, so we can't.
Oh, never mind it.
Yeah, we're gonna get censored.
I'm gonna just go ahead and go so I can finish taking my braids out.
All right, love you, baby bear.
Love you too, Mama Bear. Love you, Shishi. Love you, Lynna.
Love you.
I love that that we have powerful practitioners and you know, men and women that see the pitfalls, and a lot of them are in the community, which makes me feel very hopeful that we are moving in a direction where, you know, maybe we will start bypassing some of the riffraff in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hope. That's the hope, but it still comes down to people taking accountability for themselves.
Some people, and I'm noticing even just with this, will not. They will not, because they will not see. They will not. And I don't think it's because they don't, that they can't see. I think some people don't want to, and that's the problem. Oh my God! I thought that man was getting ready to get in the car with you.
What? Oh no, he's on the other side charging the.
Girl, I just saw him walking. I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
When you charge your car, do you have to pay?
Huh?
You have to pay. How much do you have to pay to charge your car?
It's like $18 for a full charge.
Oh, not bad.
But I get 270 miles. So when gas, I did the numbers. When gas was $4.35, which is more than that now. If you take that divided into the $18 and the 270 miles, blah, 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 gallons of gas, it came out to 72.5 miles per gallon. So, and even though gas went up again, the price of electricity did not. So now I get even more than 72 miles per gallon, or the
I'm
equivalent.
just wondering. I mean, I don't think it's possible for everything to go electrical because people can't afford to buy the electrical cards.
But I'm going to say this. It's more upfront, but there's absolutely no maintenance. You never have to worry about Express Lube using used oil in your vehicle when you pay them $90 for an oil change and them getting sludge and fucking up your motor, because there are no oil changes. Only maintenance you need on this car is you need to charge it, put windshield washer fluid in it, and tires every now and then. That's it. The brake pads last 300,000 miles because you never use the brakes. The battery lasts for 500,000 miles. Yes, the battery costs $15,000. The normal person, not me.
I was like, wait, okay. I was like, counting.
Wait a minute. We got to get back.
Wait. I just got to tell her, and everybody should hear this. A normal person, not me, because I put over 6,000 miles on this car in 4 weeks. A normal person drives 15,000 miles per year. That's 32 years before you get 500,000 miles. How many $15,000 cars are you going to buy during the next 32 years? Because it's only one $15,000 battery. In the long run, yeah, it's more upfront. In the long run, it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay, I'm going to get back to Munchie Cheese because I don't have an electric car. So I think that because the people think who I am via social media, that people assume when I'm in something that I am the problem. I hate that, but I guess I'm going to have to change the narrative. You know, Munchie Cheese, I think the problem, and I'm not even going to really say it's a problem. I think you're very passionate about what you feel. And I think that could be your spirits. You may have hot spirits that are very passionate when it comes to injustices, because I think with you tend to go into situations where you feel like there's an injustice and you want to correct it. But you have to kind of come to the place where you realize, is it a waste of my energy to do that? Because some people are not a waste. They're going to be a waste of your time. They will not want to hear what you're going to say because they have no intention of changing or healing. So you have to use discernment with that. Don't waste energy on people. Now,
I mean, but not only that. I mean, why get angry over people who don't
matter?
You don't. Yeah. I mean, do you care about them?
Yeah. Because I'm getting old. I have limited brain cells to even figure shit out anymore. So if I can't figure what the fuck you talking about, I'm gonna just keep scrolling.
That goes back to the thing where if someone's in your circle that doesn't benefit you, move on.
Yeah.
Not necessarily benefit you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no, anything that disrupts your energy or your peace of mind. Yeah.
Swipe left or right. Fuck, I don't know. I've never had one of those apps, but you just keep swiping.
So let's see, Laverne, what I can state, you can tell who's willing to learn doing it for, is that a cow?
And bullshit.
I had to look. I'm looking. I was like, look, I got glasses on. I'm like, does he have horns? For bullshit who have been living their journey for balance and those who have been doing it for riffraff before social media. True. Some of the old workers that I know here in Texas don't even have social media. Like, you don't even know who these people are, and they do well. Because they have clients. Let's see. May you be blessed as you bless me, client. Have a good week. You too, Rob. Let's see. I hate when people are wrong and it drives me crazy. Lucian kept asking me why I was such a hothead. I hate stupid people, and the problem is I feel like I need to call them stupid. But no, and I think too that could be something that you need to work on. You don't have to call people out. Fuck, keep scrolling on and let them be stupid. I'm not even gonna try to help you. If you want to be ignorant, who am I? I wasn't anointed the ignorant fixer, the ignorant fixer. You know, I come from Texas. Stupid is stupid. We say you touched in the head and we keep walking.
There's a name for them people. Ignoramus.
Is that what it is? All I know is that I am not on the committee to fix them.
I mean, I used to really, and Tonya will tell you, when I used to, oh my God, it was nothing. I would get all up in my feels.
Yes.
I was like, I hate y'all. I hate your family, your dog, your cat, that stupid bush in your yard. And then I was like, I don't even know these people. And I saw this post where it says the person that you're arguing with on Facebook is probably that kid in school who sniffed glue. You're probably arguing with them. And I was like,
and then that makes you feel stupid.
Who you're sitting here arguing with is a kid that sniffed the glue. Now there are some times where I have to really sit there, and I can't even give a full definition explanation anymore. I just say like okay, that's what you thought,
yeah.
but I used to be all of my feelings. I would be upset, like, how dare you say this? Sometimes there are some things that still get me. I just be like, I'm too lazy to type it. Too lazy to type the logical explanation of why that makes no sense. But then I realized some people want to be stupid. And eventually stupid does catch up with you.
Some people are just looking for attention, I think. And so they say things to grab attention. They know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. Some of them know they're wrong. Some of them need more help than we can provide.
But look, Mochi Chi said, I think it's because I spent my entire life not having a voice. I didn't have a voice until I graduated and moved, and my throat chakra has been overactive. And that's completely, that is an explanation. People who have seen injustices all their life and they finally start to come into their power, there is this big need to correct it. It is. I used to try to do that with people and teach them, and even TikTok drive me fucking insane. There's so much misinformation on that app, and it's 30 seconds or 60 seconds of sometimes the worst bullshit that people put out there. And I'm like, it's like, I'm like, Tonya, let it go, because I'm realizing if these people want to learn, their spirit will lead them to the right mentors. They will lead them to the right people. But if they're out there still talking the bullshit, there's not a whole lot you can do to help people.
When I was back home on vacation, that was not a vacation, because it didn't feel like one. I got to read in the store that I used to read in every Sunday. And people popped in and they were like, we have been told there is a stone that will change your life completely for the energy. And I just looked at it and was like, Moldavite? Yes. Moldavite is said to change your whole life completely. And I just sat here, I was like, they said it on, okay. They said, we saw it on TikTok. And I just sat here, I was like, look.
Moldavite will fuck you up if you ain't ready. I said, Moldavite, and people be putting that shit under their pillows and sleeping on it and then having mental breakdowns and shit. But that's what I'm saying. That's what people, they're not researching. So I don't have time to be the researcher for the whole fucking world. You got to figure that out.
I mean, and I feel kind of weird because I'm like, how many times have I fell and scraped my knee or jacked myself up and had to learn? I was like, well, they'll be okay. I was like, that's why I'm like, they'll be all right.
The energy of Moldavite, and like Baby Bear is saying, is an alien stone. You know, it's a meteorite. But the energy of it has driven more people crazy than anything else if you don't use it properly. And then you got all these people selling fake Moldavite because it's very expensive. You know, you might get a little piece.
It's supposed to bring you closer to the divine. But we're gonna get biblical for a minute. When God talked to Moses through the burning bush, Moses was blinded for 30 days? Mm-hmm. So if you want to get close to the divine, you need to be prepared, because that shit will drive you crazy.
I think a lot of people, it's, you see those funny memes and they're like, how you thought your spiritual awakening was going to be. And it's like all angels. And then like the person's looking crazy. And it really is like you're looking crazy because you're seeing all these things at once.
Yeah.
Like,
if you get a whole bunch of downloads at once, I know when I get downloads, I'll get a fucking migraine. I can't sleep. I'm seeing flashes of shit nobody should see.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared, I mean, I'm not always. I mean, you don't schedule a download, so you're not completely 100% prepared. But if you're not right in your own mind and your own self, and you do something like that, it will fucking drive you mad.
I mean, you sitting there looking crazy and seeing things that aren't there. I mean, like, there's a difference from awakening. You're like, okay, I'm seeing spiritual beings, but all of a sudden you're like, did you see that? What's going on here?
But you know what?
Like, I gotta go.
Exactly.
On the same subject, but off the subject, somebody got some video of a chupacabra.
Really?
That's going. Yeah, right here in Texas.
On TikTok?
It ain't on TikTok, girl. It's on the news.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was Victoria or somewhere.
Send it to me. If it's in Texas, somebody done went and put some fur on a dog and calling it a chupacabra. If it's in Texas, I wouldn't believe shit that they found.
But they come from Mexico. Maybe they made it over the wall.
I'm just telling you right now. I feel like a lot of things are popping out the woodwork. Might be the first one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to sell. The black in me will pop up real quick. I'd be like, I gotta go. Like that right there was in the book. I gotta go.
You ain't lying. It's so much stuff going on in this world that's coming out. Let's see. Lala said this girl was filming a TikTok, her closed door open, and I said cleanse and don't use sage. When I tell you, it was some comments talking about if you want to use it, don't listen to outside source. You can't educate people because they've been the last 10 years. It's been sage to cleanse. People were making a ton of money off of it. Mm-hmm. Can you use sage to purify a space? 100% yes. But if you're doing a ritual with sage, you need more things. And certain spirits and demons, sage don't affect them at all. It does not. So you have some people that they have to learn the hard way. Some of us had to, Yeah.
And you think about if you're using it in a ritual, what spirits are you trying to call in and using sage to wipe them right back out?
The number one rule is don't conjure up something you can't put back.
Exactly. Do research.
Real quick.
You honestly, it's a lot of people that they just will not be corrected. It doesn't matter what you know. I've seen elders try to correct people, and the people don't want to. They don't want to know. They don't want to learn it. So you got to let people do what they have to do.
And then go ahead and let that happen, and then we'll see it in the theater, Amityville number 52, whatever's going to happen, because they didn't learn from something.
But then don't come on here and play the victim after you fuck yourself up because you didn't want to listen. It goes back to the accountability. Don't play the victim on something that you opened the door to. We all have to know that at a certain point, you have to take ownership of how you're walking your path. If it's a path that you want to walk and you don't want nobody to tell you shit, that's your ownership. Be accountable for it. But don't sit up here and be like, oh, well, it's me. After the fact, nobody wants to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. My sympathy, I don't know if it's the pandemic, but my sympathy to communicate or connect with people when they keep making the same mistake over and over again is right here. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
How many times does spirit show you something and you keep repeating it? And I think when it comes to like the victim mentality of, it's like the boy that cried wolf.
Yeah.
It starts to get like that,
The wolf got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is creolin? What is creolin?
Oh, the cleansing liquid. Oh. You use it, you can do it in a floor wash.
Look, I got Lysol.
No, the Lysol concentrate, the brown one. This shit is strong as fuck. Okay. I use it in here. It chases everything. The animals, the kids. None of them can stand the smell of it.
I don't think I could even get that over here. Somebody might have to ship it.
Yeah. I haven't found, I have a bottle. I haven't seen it lately since the pandemic, but I still have a half a bottle. If I find some, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
That'd probably
like,
be
'cause
too
I haven't
strong
even
to
seen
use
it.
in the car, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Because I
concentrated.
use the hell out of the Lysol in the car.
I mix it with Florida water. And Florida water and holy water, and then I wash my floors and my doors with it. But it's strong. It lingers. It does linger.
I mean, I have to go through my inventory. I'm like, I need to find some more stuff, but whew, yeah.
Well, whatever you need, let me know. Let me know, because I mean, I can definitely find it for you.
I know you can see everybody in my house like, what are you doing now? They're like, nothing.
Vesta powder works good.
I can't get Vesta powder over here. I've been looking for it everywhere and cannot get it over here.
Oh wow.
I think the Germans are like, you will blow too much shit up. You cannot have it. So
Can it be shipped over there to you?
I'm sure many things are not supposed to be shipped, but I am more than happy to accept it. Because I have to get stuff.
We
And
might have to make you a little spiritual care package.
I'll even pay for it. I just
Look,
get stuff.
Scentsy has these little Scentsy babies that you can put the little packets in them and zip them back up. We can just take the little scent packets out and stuff it full of Vesta powder and zip it back up and ship it.
Then your shit gonna be sitting in customs for 3 months trying to figure out what the fuck that white powder is.
Oh, probably. Make sure it's in a black bag. Make sure it's in something different so it doesn't look questionable. They'd be like,
yeah, Miss Laverne said use Florida water because it lightens the smell, and it does. Because if you don't, whoo, it's powerful. It's powerful. Miss Laverne said she ain't fucking around with no spirit. She wiping them out because everything she using is. Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
I'm gonna get ready to go because it's 10:30.
It's the time anyway. So everybody, thank you so much for joining and participating in the conversation. I enjoyed it, and I hope that it made sense. I know we jumped around a lot all over, but I hope it made sense to you guys.
I hope so too. And it was nice to see everybody again. I miss y'all. I know it's been busy for everyone around here. So.
Sorry about that. Apparently, I was using the only charger that worked.
Oh.
And I'm at 99. I only needed 3 more miles to be full anyway, so
they told your ass to move on.
Well, he said he was in a hurry. Would I mind? Because he said you're at 99%. Well, I might want to be 100%. But I don't care about 3 miles.
Well, thank you guys. Please be safe out there. We love y'all. And I guess, ladies, I will catch up with you later. I'm going to go work in my garden now.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.